What is up, everybody? I'm Mitch.
And I'm Dustin, and you're tuned in to the Fat Man Podcast. Welcome.
So usually we start out all of our episodes with the veteran highlight, and today
we are highlighting Sergeant Chris Deering. He was an E7 with the 438th Chemical Company. Shout out to you. Thank you for your service.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
All right.
So we have a very special guest today. It's
the one and only.
Yeah, Miss
Kelli Davis.
Yeah.
Hello.
How are you doing today, Kelly?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. We're really excited,
Sure.
and we seen you. Actually, I think you were the first person we had asked to be on the podcast originally, and because you were one of the first people that started commented on us whenever we started making this podcast, and it's been going pretty good, and we appreciate the support, and we just thought it'd be perfect to come on here and tell us a little bit about your journey. So could you tell us a little bit about who you are, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, my name is Kelli Davis, and I'm originally from Terre Haute, Indiana. I now live in Marshall, Illinois. That's where my husband's family is from. That's where we relocated. So still basically it's like being in Terre Haute. I'm a journeyman laborer, just got journeyman status. And
congratulations.
Congratulations.
And
awesome.
My son Isaac will be 25 in May, and he's into fitness now too, super into fitness. So he's kind of on his own journey.
On Facebook. It's nice.
Yeah, his friends asked him why he got involved in it, and he said he couldn't let his mom get bigger than him. So
I like that.
That's awesome.
I like that.
So
the driving force.
Yeah. So
I know
really,
that
that's about it.
I've seen a lot of your posts on Facebook of you training and getting ready, and so how did first how did you start? How did this fitness journey start for you? Like what provoked you to make the decision to get into shape?
Okay. Well, I have always been involved in fitness, but I went through periods of time where my weight fluctuated, and I just kind of got content with life and whatnot. But this most recent, my dad has always been he's a retired bodybuilder, and he's coming out of retirement, and but grew up through him in the military. He's retired Navy. Grew up through postcards of him doing his bodybuilding shows, so I knew I always wanted to do one. Fast forward to 2018, I had gained quite a bit of weight, and I was feeling pretty unhealthy, and I was at the age where most people are, where they're like, it's time to make changes. And I just decided to go on a whole foods diet, and that's what I did, and started hitting the gym. I also used to drink a lot, and knew that in order to compete, if that's really what I wanted to do, I had to give up that part of my life, and I was ready to do that. So I ended up jumping in with both feet. But how I did it was I carried around a gallon of water for 2 weeks straight. Filled it up every day. I had to drink this gallon of water every day. And if I could do that for 2 weeks straight, I told myself I could train for a competition, and I did it. And then that's how it started.
Awesome. So I'm not sure if you kept track or not, but how much weight have you lost from day one?
Total, all the way down to the stage, was 100 pounds. And
awesome.
that was
That's
all, it was all totally natural. I didn't take any supplements or anything like that, which I don't disagree with people doing that. I just didn't. And then off stage, I fluctuate. So right now, I was 220 when I started, and right now I'm resting at 145. So
awesome.
Hell
that's
yeah.
my maintenance phase. Yeah.
So you said you started doing the whole foods diet. Was that something you did some research on and just decided that was what you wanted to do, or how'd that happen?
Well, yeah, actually, I'm now 47. In 2018, I was several years younger. I was dealing with PCOS, which a lot of women know about, men probably don't. And I
don't know what
a lot
PCOS is.
It's polycystic ovarian syndrome. So basically, your ovaries, your everything is just in disarray, and it usually causes a lot of weight gain and hormonal issues. And you can take medication, or there are various ways to handle it. But I am a non-medication type person. I don't want to take medication for any reason. So a friend of mine had started Whole Foods, had a lot of luck with it. I did some brief reading about it, and I was a perfect candidate to start it. And I had decided this is the last thing I'm going to try to get rid of this weight. And I started it, and I mean, it just fell off, and I've just stuck
So
to it.
so you cured the PCOS just through nutrition alone?
I wouldn't say I cured it. I was able to unlock the part of me that was refusing to lose weight. With PCOS.
Okay.
Basically, your body stores insulin as fat rather than.
So what has been your in this whole entire journey? What has been your biggest struggle? The thing that you've battled with the most?
Okay, so food wise, I would say sugar. I have quit known to man on this planet, and sugar is the one thing that's just got a grip on me. I guess you could say I like sugar. That's been the hardest thing to let go of. And as far as everything else has gone in stages, it's taken time to get to where I'm at mentally and physically, but it's all happened in stages. So I guess that
Just
I would
building
say
up
that was
discipline.
yeah, I think that was the difficult part, because some weeks I would do really well. And then some weeks it was like, I felt like a failure because I wasn't doing as well. And I just had to remind myself, just staying consistent, just keep doing what you do, work, don't beat yourself up over the little things, just stay consistent.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and I also learned that when it comes to fitness and weight loss, everybody expects it to be like this straight line, like you just lose weight
No.
and then you just stay there. And it's more like a graph where it's like this
Ups and
bunch of hills
downs.
and valleys. Yes.
That's where I'm at right now. I've been for like the past 8 months. I've been 193. Like I've been solid at 193, and it doesn't matter how much I eat or how little I eat. It's just I've been kind of stuck there. So Monday, I decided, because I've never done like a really strict hard cut, and so Monday I decided, you know what, I'm going to get my head right, and I'm going to do this, and I want to see what kind of progress I can make with that. Maybe
Hell yeah.
Maybe get some of those striations in my muscles. Maybe
Yeah.
My goal
Yeah,
is
you
just to
will.
get vascular.
maybe I'll become a what do they call a muscle daddy?
Yeah. I've never been I've never in my life, even when I was younger, have I ever been vascular. So
Oh, no.
that's my goal, is to maintain this cut until I see veins.
And I'll tell you this guy. Well, you've known him. He's made a lot of progress since he started
Yeah.
going to the gym. I mean,
Yeah.
one thing that pisses me off about him, though, working out, I don't know if you can tell the difference in size here, but I'll be like doing my max, and he'll be like, "Just leave it on there. I need to warm up." I'm like, "You motherfucker." It pisses me off. But I'm finally getting to the point where I'm finally a man. I can lift some weight.
Yeah, you hit 315 on bench, so now you're officially a man.
I didn't
Hell
get 315.
yeah.
You got it for one.
I got 295.
Okay, that's right.
I got 295. My 315 by the end of the year is my goal.
He says
It's
he says
coming.
once he hits 315, he'll feel like a real man.
Yeah, but I said that about 225 too. So
Exactly.
it just keeps.
Always chasing the dragon.
Do you do that? Do you have those lifting goals or whatever that you set for yourself, and once you hit it, you have your next goal, and it's never good enough.
Never satisfied.
Yeah, no, I think I'm never satisfied. Really.
Yeah.
I haven't maxed out on anything in a really long time, so I wouldn't have any idea what my maxes are. My goals are to not eat the cake and basically just not eat the cake. That's my goal. That's my goal every day, is to just stay the course.
So speaking of not lifting heavy, that perfect segue into my next question. When it comes to your exercise at the gym or at home or wherever it is you decide to do it, what type of exercise do you do? Do you do calisthenics? Are you a weightlifter? Is it mostly cardio?
Or is it a mixture of everything?
I'm a weightlifter. I lift weights 5 days a week, and I do 20 minutes of cardio post training every day. And then I
that's
do
gross.
20 minutes of cardio on my days off. Monday, I'm going to
cardio
start my.
stuff.
Actually, you know what? The cardio that I do is either treadmill, bike, walk outside, elliptical. It's easy, and it's steady state. It's, for instance, on a treadmill, it's 3 miles per hour at an incline. I alternate the incline. I like to stay at 15%, and I do it for 20 minutes. And that's it. I turn on my Hulu, I've been watching Schitt's Creek. That's one of my favorite shows. My
Yeah.
I
third
love
time
that
watching
show.
it, and
show.
20 minutes over and done in no time.
I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I don't like cardio. I don't do it.
That's the fun thing about lifting weights, though, is that you don't
Yeah.
really have to do cardio. Like
Yes.
it's
I
not
know that.
necessary.
See, that was the biggest struggle for me because like my only experience in fitness was when I was a kid. I grew up as a gymnast, so a lot of cardio. And then whenever I became an adult, I joined the military, which is nothing but cardio. And so like I didn't really like my thoughts were for so long was the only way to lose weight, the only way to get in shape was I had to go out and run 2 miles and do all this stuff, and I've hated it, and that's been a big struggle for me. And then when he introduced me to lifting, it really did. It changed my life because I'm like, it sucks for the 30 seconds that you're lifting, and then you get like a minute break to let it calm down. You don't feel like you're dying of an asthma attack. I'm like, I can get behind
That's just
this
because
shit.
you're not lifting heavy enough.
Yeah, but yeah, I like lifting a hell of a lot more than I liked running. I only run because the Army makes me.
I get that, and I used to be a cardio junkie, and I agree with you. And I think women are always told, or it's like this. I don't know where we learn that we're supposed to do copious amounts of cardio. I don't know where that happens, but women
disgusting.
especially. It is. We just are killing ourselves with cardio, and I have done it for years. And starting the gym, I would go, and then I would leave, and I would be like, that's it? That's all I got to do?
Yeah.
That's it? And then the results started coming, and I was like, this is great. And now I do cardio because I have to, but I don't have to do, like I was doing insane cardio. Nothing like that anymore. And it's been a really nice break from that. And I enjoy, like you, I'm an early morning lifter. I don't know when you guys go. I'm an early morning lifter. There's almost nobody in there. I'm in my own headspace. I get in, I get out. I get 20 minutes to watch my favorite show, to do my cardio, and then that's it. I'm out of there. It's over with. And I don't have to think about it for the rest of the day.
So I always say that there's two kinds of people. There's the psychopaths, and then there's the people that work out in the evening. And I'm not a morning person at all. It's not for me. Every once in a while, like I get in my head that I think I'll wake up in the morning and work out, and then 7 a.m. rolls around because I'm not an early riser, and I'm like, nope, that's not going to happen today. I just can't.
I would love to work out in the mornings, but I'm not strong at all after I wake up. Like for the first 3 to 4 hours after I wake up, I'm weak as shit. Like my muscles.
Really?
Like, nah. Yeah, I'm not a morning person. I mean, I get up early every morning for work, but it's like I go sit in a truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I like working out in the evening just because it's like a good way to decompress from the day. We just finished our workout right before the podcast. That's kind of how we do it.
Yeah.
You're all pumped up.
We do
Yes.
our exercises Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 usually, but on podcast days, which is Tuesdays, we stop around 8 o'clock. So we only got an hour in today.
Yep. But it was a good workout.
It was.
Hey,
Good.
it's better than sitting our asses on the couch.
That's right.
That's right.
Better than eating
And
tater chips.
one of the things my dad told me when I started embarking on my journey to the stage, he said, Kelly, if you ever get to the gym and you're not feeling it, just grab your stuff and go. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Go for a walk. Go do some other activity. Just do something in place of it. But it's okay to sometimes not do it if you're not feeling it.
And we've had days where we've definitely taken off. It's definitely helped for us to have the accountability partner. Because like there'll be days that are like, man, I'm not gonna don't be a bitch.
Yep.
Come on, show up. And like if I'm just making an excuse, that's enough to get me into the gym so I don't cheat myself. If I'm actually like need to miss it for work or whatever, like he's understanding of that too, and I do the same thing for him. But yeah, I will lie to myself, and I'll lie to get out of
Excuses are easy to make.
Yeah, it's
especially
really-
when it
They
comes
are.
to working out. They are the easiest lie to tell yourself. Well, I can't because I don't have time, or
yeah.
I'm just too tired.
As long
work
as
out?
you feel something, you fill that time with something else, some type of activity, because sometimes,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you said, life happens Don't not do anything. Find something to do.
Exactly.
And like my big problem is, so like during the day I still work with my dad doing heating and cooling, but in the evenings I run ML Productions, doing video productions. So a lot of my time is just sitting at the computer, and whenever I'm doing that, it's really easy for me to grab the bag of potato chips or a thing of Oreos or whatever. And so this has definitely helped keep me accountable, because after I leave the gym, I don't feel like eating. I'm kind of done for the day. So until right before bed.
That's when I get hungriest, is when I get home from the gym.
I'll eat a peanut butter sandwich right before bed. No, it's definitely helped having an accountability partner. Do you work out solo, or do you have a workout partner or anything?
I work out solo. And I have a coach. So I know that's not
dedication right there. When you
I hired a
and stay
coach.
consistent.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I used to work out with people, and then when I got a coach, I would get so focused on what I was doing that the person I was usually with, that I was working out with, kind of felt not neglected, but they didn't know what they were doing. And I was like, I don't either. I mean, I knew, but I didn't know. And it's like, I need to do my own thing. So I just started doing my own thing. And now that's just, if I go to the gym with people, I'm usually helping them. I go with my friend, Debbie, who, she's fairly new to the gym, and I just teach her new things that she's never done before. So
I got you.
We'll have to have you come to the gym with us, or we'll have to come over to where you work out and work out with you one of these times.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah, we have a girl that she comes and works out with us on Wednesdays, and she's a trainer at Deep Roots Fitness in Terre Haute. And, she invited us over there, and I went last week, I think it was, or a week before, and I underestimated how hard it was. I hurt all the way through Wednesday the next day. It was such a different workout than what I'm used to. Yep. And we went to do legs that following Wednesday. I was like, my ass still hurts. I was definitely bitching out after that. But I love learning new things. That's a big part of it, you know?
Definitely.
I do too. Are you doing like a lot of powerlifting? Are you?
I'm kind of in the powerlifting.
It's more like
area, but
we're kind of like hybrid a little bit.
Yeah, we do both. He's of the like 60% max, higher reps, and I'm the 90% max, lower reps. So
and so what we started doing, because like for a while our goals kind of lined up, but now our long-term goals are kind of changing. And so he takes care of Monday and Wednesday's workout, and then I take care of Tuesday and Thursday's workout. So we kind of get the best of both worlds and stuff. So I'm definitely more on hypertrophy, and he's more on the strength building, because he wants to be the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Well, my goal is to hit the 1,500 pound club.
Yeah. Okay.
My goal
goals
is
are
just
good
to
to
get
have.
a flat stomach.
Yeah. I'm officially part of the 1,250 pound club.
Oh,
get
okay.
to the 1,500. Yeah. So, and my long term goal for this year is, I mean, everybody talks about, mostly guys, but everybody talks about their bench, how they want to grow their bench. So my goal for this year is to hit 405.
He was close. He was really close the other day.
I tried it the other day and failed, but right now my current PR for bench is 385.
You're so close. So close.
I'm there. It's close.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned that you have a coach, and then we had briefly mentioned about how you got into bodybuilding. So you said you've done one competition, right?
One competition, yes.
So can you
take
us through the journey of like how that started, how that went, and just everything that had to do with it?
Okay, so I knew I was going to do a competition, and I had to find a coach because I had no idea what I was doing. So I asked around, and I found a coach, and he was a decent. He was actually, I don't want to say he was a decent coach. He was a really good coach. And I was with him for I think over a year, and he sent me my nutrition, and he sent me my workouts, and I would check in every Friday, and all the way up until the competition, which was in Dallas, Texas, and it was in 2022 in July. And basically you just eat and work out is what you do. You don't really you have to, for competitions, you eat, sleep, train, eat, sleep, train. That's it. That's all you do. You don't really have time to socialize. And I couldn't go out to eat with people most of the time because a lot of restaurants don't let you bring in your own food.
Yeah.
So if I did go, I would already have to have eaten, or I didn't eat when I got there. And it made a lot of people uncomfortable, believe it or not. It was weird
really?
for them, for me to be, yeah, they thought it was weird to eat in front of me. And I was like, no, go ahead. It's cool. I signed up to do this. It's fine. And
Yeah.
then, you choose the competition that you want to go to. You sign up for it. You become a member. I went through INBA, which is International Natural Bodybuilding Association. I'm all natural. And then you show up the day before or whenever. We went a couple days before because my dad lives in Texas. And then you go to your competition. I did masters and I did bikini, and I took 1 second and 2 third place. So I did masters, I did the open class, and then I did novice, which means you've never won a competition before, or it's your very first one.
Yeah.
And masters is 40 and over.
Okay.
So that's basically the journey. So I had to hire a opposing coach. I forgot about this part. I had to hire a opposing coach, and I found Mindy online, and I traveled to Indianapolis where she's from, and she worked with me on my posing. And that was how I met her. And she is now my full-time coach.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the way I liked her nutrition. She's very nutrition driven, which made sense to me because I found when it came to fitness and exercise, people used to tell me it was 80% exercise, 20%, 80% diet, 20% exercise. And I was like, no, that's not true. I don't believe it. But it's in fact the truth. Nutrition is, it reigns supreme, and she is nutrition driven. So
I have told people time and time again, and I will say it till I'm blue in the face and I will die on this hill, you cannot out-train a bad diet.
You cannot. And
There's
you
no
can
amount
get
of
newbie
exercise.
gains on it.
Yeah.
You can get newbie gains, but you can't out-train it.
There's no amount of exercise that you can do to get the results that you want with a diet.
that's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
So,
And alcohol
for
is a
those-
huge takeaway too, ladies and gentlemen. I know
Yes.
it's so hard to, like, if you're not competing or whatever, it's not a big deal. But if you're somebody that's thinking about that, and even though it's a long way away, you have to know that that's something you unequivocally have to eliminate. There's just no way around it.
Well, I don't do competitions, obviously. But even so, I still try to stray away from the alcohol as much as possible because I know that it's going to hinder any kind of progress I'm trying to make.
And for me, I get white girl wasted off of Bahama Mama, so it doesn't take me much anyways. I hardly
He's a
ever
cheap
drink.
date.
I am. It doesn't. This past weekend, I had a guy, one of my buddies. It was his last drill with my unit, and he got out, and so we went out and we had a few beers, and I still feel like I'm recovering a little bit. And I didn't even get drunk. It just doesn't take me much anymore because I rarely drink.
Got hung over off the non-alcoholic beer.
My goodness, I felt, and then we ran a 5K the next day.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
exciting.
that sounds awful.
It was terrible. It wasn't fun at all. I'm realizing that I'm not 22 years old anymore, and I don't bounce back like I used to.
So, for the people who don't do competitions or people who are looking to get into doing competitions, take us through like just a brief rundown of how did you train for that kind of thing? Like once you decided, okay, I know I'm doing this competition, I found the coaches, blah blah blah. What is your training style for something like that?
So, like I said, I'm an early morning trainer, so I knew that I would have to do early morning. So, my training has always been 5 days a week. It's been like across the board. It's been 5 days a week. I've tried to scale it down to 4, but it's 5 days a week, and those days are dictated what days I work out based on my work at the time, because I move around a lot for work, basically areas like I'm in KZ and before I was in West Union. So that kind of dictates the days in which I do work out. but I go in the morning, and I'm a slow kind of a cadence person, 3 seconds, for the lift and 3 seconds to let it down, basically is what I do. So I have to give myself a little bit of time, and then with the cardio, but you also have to learn to be flexible. I have had to teach myself how to be flexible. In fact, during that train, actually after my competition, I made myself go to evenings because I thought there might be a time where you travel far enough that you can't get up at 1 o'clock in the morning. You're going to have to go in the evening. So
Right.
I had to train myself to do that. But as far as the training goes, my coach sent me my workout and I just followed it. My current coach now sometimes she'll ask me what I'm doing at work, and then she'll ask me if I want to do full body days, or do I want to keep it divided between, chest, arms, back, how we have it. And I've been doing legs 3 days a week for almost 2 years. I've been,
Oh, that sounds-
well, my
that sounds
problem
rough.
area, yeah, it is. It's between quads, hams, glutes, all that. But my problem area is my glutes and the backs of my legs. A lot of women I've noticed might carry their weight there, but I have had a really, really hard time developing that area, and I just don't know. Genetics. That boils down to genetics.
Yeah,
And,
my problem area
so-
is my quads, the sides. I need to.
You can ask
I need
him.
the
Mine
width.
are my glutes. I look like a frog standing up, so I have no ass. I don't.
Mine's flat.
We have Jim Kardashian over here, and me, I have no ass.
My wife calls me Jim Kardashian because I have a badonka.
That's so funny.
Oh. I don't train.
You got some
glutes
junk in the
ever. I
trunk?
don't- That's right.
So we were doing what are the leg abductors
The
and
adductors, yeah.
yeah. Well, I call them good girl, bad girls, and
Okay.
I got stuck in them last week.
I remember that. Yeah. He
I
was,
was
like, "Hey, come here, help."
I was like, I need your help, and he's just over here laughing. I was like, no, I need your help because
He was wide. Like,
I was like, these don't go out that far. I was like, I could tell I don't use them.
That's funny.
I'm not gonna lie though, that was the first, like the time we did that was the first time I'd ever done that exercise, and the inside of my thighs was sore for like 3 days.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna incorporate those more often, but
they were rough for me.
Yeah, they were
Absolutely.
rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
I
good.
I found out I am not a contortionist. I'm not,
No.
like it barely move. I'm so like my flexibility is so low that like they barely move back and forth. I was like, this may be a sign that I need to work on this.
Yes, well, I will tell you, it's funny you mentioned that. I think that's a good point you mentioned. Mobility and flexibility is paramount to lifting also. And the stronger you get, the easier your lifts come, but your mobility is really, really important to that. And that's what helps you progress. And I learned that I had I didn't realize that until like 2 years into my training, how tight my hips were, and my squats are terrible. But I also have shoulder, neck, hip issues, but my mobility was really limited. So that was something in my training that we discovered that I had to start incorporating on my off days.
yeah, my mobility is less than adequate. We'll just put it that way. I'm stiff like a 2x4.
And sometimes I'll be like, you got to go deeper. You're like, it doesn't go any deeper.
Yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yoga.
we've actually talked about that.
I've contemplated it.
So one thing
You
that we want to
should
do,
yoga.
one thing we want to do is because we found out, specifically, I found out just from my lack of knowledge, that fitness looks different for everybody. And so one thing that we want to do, and we've been invited to a handful of different types of gyms and workout sessions, that we want to try everything from yoga to rock climbing to we're going to do a bungee class over in Terre Haute. We're going
Fun.
we just want to try all different. I don't care if it's ballet or whatever it is. We want to try just to experience
Anything except CrossFit.
Yeah, one thing I think it will be. I think it'd be fun to just see us look like fools, But
Oh,
two,
you get me in that bungee class, I'll definitely make a fool of myself.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm okay with that.
but we just to show that like fitness looks different for everybody, and then we might find something that we never even heard of before that we're like, oh, I like how this feels. I like this is actually fun because I found out that if I don't enjoy it, I won't do it, and so
Absolutely.
which is why I was never a runner.
I used to run. It was after the military. Of course, when I was in the military, I hated it because it was forced. But before Stephanie and I had got together, this was like 11, 12 years ago, I used to run religiously every other day. I'd run in between 3 to 5 miles every other day. And I fell in love with running, and then her and I got together, and I stopped running for, I don't know why, but I did, and now I'm too fat to run.
Listen.
It's hard to push
I get
290 pounds around.
I get it. I hated running when I was a kid. And I remember the volleyball team in high school. I was like, is this track or is this volleyball? Because all we did was run.
Mm-hmm.
And I hated it. And then I joined a derby team in my adult years, roller derby, and I needed to build up endurance. So I forced myself to start running.
Mm-hmm.
I loved running. I still love running, but I don't run because the cardio, I don't do cardio like I used to. I don't have the stamina that I used to, but I loved running. Running out of all, I used to instruct water aerobics. I did CrossFit for a while. I've done all forms of fitness. Yeah, I've done all forms of fitness, and the runner's high is by far the most intense of any form of fitness
100%.
I've ever had.
100%.
I will say that. Yeah, and
runners'
I miss
highs
that.
Are like no tomorrow. They're like nothing
Yeah.
I've never had a runner's high. I've had runner's dread.
You've had runners vomit.
Yeah, I've had runners like this. I've had a lot of that. There's been a lot of the whole time I've been running. Although I will say, like I said, I'm not a runner, but we've been going to the gym all this time, and I've historically been a slow runner. And so we had this 5K this past weekend, and even though I hated the running part of it, it made me see like the progress that I have made just from the workouts that we do at the gym. Because I usually would line up with the slowest people, and as I was doing that, it was actually painful to run slower. Like I was like, this is too slow. And so then I took off running, and I caught up with not the fastest group, but the second to the fastest group with ease. And I didn't even have to really try that hard. And I was like, okay, I can see the progress here. I still hated it, but I'm getting a little better.
Does it make you want to run a little bit more? No?
No.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually kind of miss running, but again,
I do
right
too.
now my current weight, I'm sitting at 281 pounds, so that's a lot of weight on my knees, to be pushing. So my goal is to get, if I was, I'd say 230 or less, I would probably start running again.
I started running once a week with Kaylin, because the girl that comes in and lifts with us, she runs like 7 or 8 miles before she even starts lifting with us.
Yeah, she's crazy.
Yeah, she's preparing for a marathon. And
oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, but I've been running with her, and I think maybe that's helped a little bit. I do need to run more, because my biggest goal is I want to run a perfect PT test for the Army. I want to do it before I get out, and I've never done it before. I've had really good PT tests in the past, but especially since I've lost all the weight, I haven't. I do okay, but I want to get to the point where I just max everything out, and just for myself. The Army doesn't give you any rewards for doing great anymore.
Doing it's reward enough.
Yeah, but I just want to be able to say I made it on the leaders board for my unit, and so that is my goal. So
that is a really good goal.
I'm slowly incorporating running through. Once a week may not be a whole lot, but it's a good start.
It's a good start.
It's better than not doing it at all.
Nothing, yeah.
Right.
Because we run for like 20 minutes or so, and that's good. I'm not running 10 miles with her. So she was the one that I did that fitness class with, that I was sore for like a whole entire week. The very next day I woke up the next day, I was like, I can't move. And she calls me up and she was like, hey, we're going to run 8 miles today. Do you want to run with us? I was like, no, I don't want to run. I can't walk.
What class was it you took? What class was that you took?
It's a strength training class. It's all like an hour of HIIT training.
Okay,
and,
yeah.
So when she comes and works out with us, so I'm super competitive, and it just out of fun. Like I don't get angry if I lose at something or whatever, but I'm very competitive. She's very competitive, and so she always gets because we'll be doing something, and on legs she's has really strong legs, and so she'll match what I'm doing, and the next set I just up it just a little bit. She's like, this pisses me off. Why won't you let me beat you? Well, when we went to that strength training class, one of the things we were doing was the slam balls, and she was like, I can do 37 slam balls in 1 minute. How many can you do? I was like, we'll find out. I got to 22, and I was like, I'm hunched over. I'm like, I can't go any further. And she definitely whomped my ass at it. But yeah, that class was no joke. I'll tell you that.
I'm gonna have to lose some weight before I do that class.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can do it.
You
There's people
could.
of
I need that
all
stamina.
different levels.
I know, but I need the stamina.
But I need the stamina too. I found that out. But
So, are you planning on doing any other competitions in the future, near future, long term, or anything?
I'm doing one in August, this August in Chicago. My dad is coming out of retirement, and we're going together, and we're going to do a mixed pairs.
That's awesome.
that's so cool.
Yeah, we're going to do.
So when it comes, go ahead.
I was going to say it's been a dream of his and mine, and it's finally happening. So on Monday,
so
I'm
cool.
starting my 24-week cut to get to the stage.
Okay.
Monday
that was gonna be my question.
Is serious. Monday it gets real serious.
Okay. So when you do competitions, does the training period, like when it starts, does that vary depending on the competition, or are they all pretty well the same?
Well, I think it depends on where you're at and what your goals are. Of course, my last competition, we started my cut. I was in almost a cut the whole time that I was training, and if you compare where I was then in terms of length of time from where I was at to the competition, my abs were already through. Like I was already showing my abs 6 months out. And at Christmas time,
That's
I had
awesome.
abs. I was pretty cut.
That's awesome.
Right now, I'm not. But it won't take me. It's not going to take me as long as it did then. I had a lot of fat to lose. I have more muscle density right now than I did then. So I totally got off and I forgot what your question was.
That's okay. The question was, does the start period for your cut vary, or is it pretty well the same for every competition?
Yeah, no, it's probably similar because your body, but like also depends on, are you going to compete 2 weeks again after that competition? And like I said, right now, it won't take me as long to do my cut as it did. I started at 27 weeks on my last competition, and then at 12 weeks was when, or maybe it was 14 weeks, 12 or 14 weeks was when I couldn't even use seasonings. All the little extras that I could have were eliminated. Everything was eliminated. So I'm not sure what we'll do with this one because it's a different coach. But we're starting at the 24. We're going to start eliminating now at the 24-week mark. We're doing 10% at a time. And then we'll see how my body does. And then we'll know what to do as we progress, getting closer. Because the idea, what's hard about it is your peak week has to align with your competition. And a lot of times, people get to the competition and it's the day after their competition that their competition body comes through. Or it would be, they do it too early. There's a science. You really have to pay attention. So you never really know. And you're kind of at the judge's discretion, really. One judge might see something, the other one doesn't. So, but it varies from competition to competition, really.
Okay.
Now, I do have a question because you said that it was 2018 whenever you did your first competition, correct? So
wait, what'd you say?
22.
Wait, 2022. Wait,
22. Yeah.
Okay. So your first competition. So a lot of our audience, I see they're in their late 30s, 40s, 50s, and I've had some comments on there where they want to do different things when in the fitness sector, whatever that may be, and some of them feel like they're getting too old. They're not 20 years old anymore. How was it mentally preparing for it? Being, because you said you're 46 now, right?
I'm 47.
Oh, you're 47. So you were in
I'm
your
47,
40s
yeah.
doing your first competition.
Yeah.
Were you worried about not being a 20-something-year-old, or were you? What was it like being?
No, I
starting it?
wasn't worried about that. I just, first of all, I would tell anybody, get offline. Quit looking at the muscle people online. Is if you're all natural. If you're all natural, avoid those, because most of those people are not. And you need to follow your like people that are in the natural circuit. And I would tell anybody right now, like I said, through INBA, International Natural Bodybuilding Association versus NPC, you'll see the difference. If you're not familiar with the difference, just go take a look and you'll see the difference. And the nice thing about INBA, and there are other ones like OCB, they do drug testing and stuff like that. But the nice thing about that is they have other categories, beginning categories. So if you are just had a baby, post baby weight, and you want to, and you just need something to help drive you to reach your goals. So you use a competition in that category, for example, they're not looking for perfection. You go out there and you compete against other women that are just had a baby and they're trying to lose weight too. They also have the tattoo division. They have divisions for young kids who are aspiring to be involved in fitness. There's a lot of different categories.
For a little bit. They got something for everybody.
Yes.
That's
and it
really
goes
awesome.
all the way. It goes all the way to Ultra Masters, which is 70 and older. And that's the category
Wow.
my dad's competing in. And he will have competed in every category. So you are never too old. And you get there and you think in your mind, like I kept thinking in my mind, I was going to see all these people that look like the people that I see online. No, they look just like me. They're 47-year-old somethings who started late, or maybe they started when they were younger, or, they're regular, normal people. And I
That's
highly
really awesome.
recommend it. Just go to a competition. If you're not really sure, go to one and see what it's all about.
Now, what was your so the competition that you did? What was your favorite moment, your favorite memory from that competition? What was something that just stands out for you?
Well, in my category, in all three of my categories, I was first on stage. So my very first call out to get on stage, and I got up there, and you're under the lights, and I was freezing cold because I was 6% body fat. I was freezing cold. And I get on stage and I hit my first pose and I start walking to the side of the stage. And all of a sudden, I just had this overwhelming sense of joy and pride and sense of accomplishment. I almost started crying, and I just remember smiling really big, thinking, I'm here. I did it. And I really didn't
That's
care if I won. I wasn't there for a trophy. I mean, sure. I mean, who doesn't want to win? But I mean, that's not why I
Right.
was there. I made it. That was a life. I knew in fourth grade that I wanted to compete. And here I was, 40, what was I, 43, 44, 44 years old. And I made it. I was on stage, and there was no amount of losing could take away that moment. And I mean, that was the moment that all my nerves went to the side, and I just stepped inside myself and I just soaked it up. And at that time, all I wanted to do is turn to the coaches and just start flexing. But in bikini, you don't flex. I wanted to be like, look at these muscles that I built. Yeah, I did. But that's my biggest memory of going. And
That's cool.
I've never been more proud of myself. I can honestly, I've done some things I've been proud of, but I mean, this was just different. It was different. It was a really big deal. And the reason why I went to Dallas, Texas, well, one, my dad lived there, but two, I thought this might be my only competition. I mean, I'm 44 years old. I may only do this one time. And if I only do it one time, I want it to be I'm going hard. I'm going big.
Yeah.
So that was how I did that. And then here it is 3 years later and I'm competing. I'm going to compete in another one. And I think I'll take 3 years off and compete again when I'm 50.
That's awesome.
That's my
cool.
plan.
So
Yeah.
that's help. So I've seen a lot of competitions, but all the ones I've seen are all IFBB Pro shit. So they vary quite significantly from the ones that you do. Post show, take us through a little bit of that.
That's difficult. People think that the year leading up to the stage is the hard part. It's not. It's the very moment you step on stage and there's pizza backstage, or you step off stage, there's pizza back there. And I was in Dallas, Texas, tons of restaurants I've never been to, Mexican food. And we ended up leaving a day early because I told my husband, Bobby, I said, the only thing there is for me here is to eat my way through Texas. We got to go. We need to go home. I need to be in a controlled environment, because when you exit the stage, everything you do for 6 to 12 to 16 weeks, that whole year, even after that, is really important, because you are in a very delicate stage then. And if you just start, and it's hard to not, you're like, the competition's over. You feel like you're just like, oh, I just want to eat, and you can't. So you're even more restricted than really before. Because now the competition's over. You want to have
that celebratory meal.
Yeah.
That which you get your celebratory meal, but then you have to say, okay, I don't have a competition now, but I still have to eat the same diet I've been on for the same nutrition program that I've been on for the last 6 weeks. I can't stop now. And you don't have the stage, getting to the stage, as your focus factor to keep you from eating the things that you want to eat anyway. Now you have to, it's just pure willpower. And I didn't do as well as I thought I would. But I did okay.
But
I
for
could
being
have done
your
a lot
first
better.
place, and would you say you did one second place and 2/3 the other way?
Second and 2/3. And I'll tell you a little
for
secret.
being your first one ever. That's badass. I mean,
That is
how many competitors did you have there that you were going against?
That's the funny part. That's what I was going to tell you. I placed second. There were only 2 of us. And the 2 that I placed third, there were only 3 of us.
Okay. Well,
but honestly, I can say honestly, had there been more, I probably wouldn't have placed that well. And how I knew that is because the backs of my legs and my glutes weren't as developed as they should have been. But that's just how it is in the natural bodybuilding world. That's just how it is. We have, all the girls had stretch marks. It's all there. None of it's natural. It's real.
Yeah.
So
it's part of life.
Yeah. But I got to bring home a trinket.
And that's badass. That's awesome. Are you going to use those weak points as takeaways for the next competition? Then are you going to use those as focal points for this next one?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that was what I told my coach for this next competition. My goal was to be competitive. I was like, last time I didn't have, my body was different than theirs. These girls in the bikini category, they go to the gym and they work out hard. And when I'm about to say what I'm about to say, I don't want to make it sound like I'm taking away from that, but they're just in their natural state. They're built to be in bikinis. I am not. I have never been meant to be in a bikini. I had to work really, really hard for that and just barely made it by the skin of my teeth into the bikini category. And I was extremely muscular compared to them. So that's how I knew when we got backstage. I was like, yeah, I'm not, I'm 1, probably in the wrong category, but 2, I'm definitely not going to win. But it took a lot of pressure off.
Now, are you going to do the bikini category again, or are you going to do a different category? Or
I think I'm going to do bikini. I wanted to do physique and I wanted to do bodybuilding because I really just want to get up there and flex. I want to practice that. I think I probably will. And my expectations are, this is a bigger show. It's in Chicago. So it's a bigger show. So I really don't expect a whole lot out of that, but I want the experience. So I think I'm going to do it. And I do think I'm going to do bikini again. Originally, I wanted to get away from that after But I think the bikini category is starting to change. Girls are starting to get a little more muscular. So, like my upper body is where all my muscle is. I'm pretty cut through my upper body, and I have striations. I'm at 18% body fat, and I have striations in my
That's
shoulders
awesome.
just at rest.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So,
So one part of bodybuilding and competitions that people don't ever really talk is the spouse side. So how has this whole journey been for your husband, for Bobby? I mean, obviously he's been a supporter, but
absolutely. He really, as long as I'm happy, he's happy. And it doesn't get in the way of anything. I do know that when we went to Dallas, to Texas for my competition, he really showed up for me. And not that
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
think he
awesome.
would, but he really did, because I underestimated how much I was going to need him or a person there. And he was John. He was like stage manager, stage mom. He just took such good care of me. If I needed it, he got it. He didn't complain. It was, and all the way leading up to that, I will say probably the last month leading up to that, I was hungry and I was irritable, and he let me know, like, you're being ridiculous. Okay. And I'm just be like, I'm hangry, babe. I'm sorry. It's nothing personal. This is just how it's going to be. And he would put me in check sometimes and remind me, like, you're hangry, but like, let's refocus. So it was, for me,
Quit
I
your
was
shit.
fortunate. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. He was a godsend. And I was I'm very, very fortunate to have a husband that, a spouse or partner that supports me in that way.
that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well,
But he
Bobby's a
has
good
nothing
dude
to do with
anyway.
the
He's a hell
gym.
of a guy.
He is. He really is. But he has nothing to do with the gym. He will not go. People ask me, why don't you guys go together? And I've tried to get him to go, and he's just not into it. And the other day I said, you want to go for a walk? And he said, absolutely not. So,
Not even down for the walking, huh?
no, not even down for the walk.
To each their own. It's not for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good though. It's good that you have him in your corner, because
I'm very lucky.
I can tell you, I don't know from experience, but I can tell you that one of the biggest things that you need in the realm of just, even if you don't compete, just fitness in general, if you're trying to, get better yourself, you need that spouse of yours to be in your corner and be supportive through the whole journey, from
100%.
day one. Now, if you're being excessive, I can understand them kind of, straying away a little bit, but it helps when you have somebody there to push you and say, you got this, or if you're having trouble, they listen to you, or they don't try to shut you out or get mad because you're spending too much time at the gym and not enough at home, that kind of stuff. So it really
Yeah.
helps.
No,
I don't have to worry
it's-
about that.
Yeah.
My
I don't
wife,
have to worry about
that's
it.
one thing I can say. Again, I'm not doing competitions or anything, so mine's drastically different from yours. But that's one thing I can say is my wife has been supportive. All the stupid fad diets I've tried in the past, that didn't really work, and going to the gym all the time, and sometimes missing time in the evenings, with family and dinner and stuff to go to the gym and stuff like that. She's been real supportive of it. She hasn't said a word about it. She's
And his wife's a sweetheart too.
She is.
I mean,
She is.
she really is just a sweetheart.
and I thank God for her every day, and I'm blessed to have a woman that's as supportive as she is.
Oh yeah.
For sure. So
Yeah. You both won the lottery with each other, I feel like.
Yeah.
You both are
Yeah.
a really good team.
We're in this together. He's my gym wife.
that's right. That's right. No, but yeah, her and I definitely have won the jackpot with each other for sure.
Well, she just thinks you're a big hunk anyway. She will never, I don't think she'll ever tell you to stop going. She looks at you and is like, wow.
She sometimes will make silly remarks, and like the other day, I was sitting on the couch and she just looked over at me and she goes, "Those guns, they're getting big." and I kind of could just see it in her face, and I was like, "All right, thanks."
That's so
Every once in a while
cute.
she'll show up at the gym and she's basically to the essence of, look at my hunk right here.
Yeah.
Look at this guy
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah,
funny.
she's proud of you,
Yeah.
I can tell.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
she is. Yes, and I'm proud of her too. I mean, I'll show her off to anybody. I don't care. I love her to death. Wouldn't trade her for
Yeah.
the world.
And I'm proud.
I
of you.
know.
Proud of you.
Well, thank you.
We're having a moment.
We are having a moment. We're not going to kiss right now.
No, we'll do it when
Okay.
the
Yeah,
camera's
we'll
off.
do it when the camera. That's not
Okay.
not that kind of show.
What is it? Oh, I haven't. No, I haven't.
But no. I had something I was going to ask.
Do you maintain a strict diet every single day, or
Oh yeah,
do
that's
you?
what I was going to ask.
Oh well, there you go. There's your question. Go ahead.
So what I was going to ask you is, so when you're in your, I know you said that like
Off
first
season.
year after the competition that you're delicate, but how do you transition to quote unquote eating like a normal person, not unhealthily, but like how do you how
Back
long
to
does
your
that
normal
take?
diet.
Yeah. You incorporate, I didn't do it long enough with my last coach to really, you incorporate so many calories a week until you get back up to your maintenance calories. And then depending on what your goals are, whether you're wanting to build muscle, if you're going to compete again, then you just kind of adjust there moving forward. But it's like week by week and you see how your body's responding. I did it for a couple of days and I was like, whatever. And then I just went back to my regular diet and didn't really, I hate to say diet, I hate the word diet, my regular nutrition program.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
the word diet can be construed in several ways. You know, a lot of people
Yeah.
talk about diet as in like, what does your diet consist of? As in, what do you eat normally? And then other people say, I'm going on a diet, which either or.
I prefer. I'm going on a cut. I'm cutting right now.
Yeah.
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 It makes me feel like I'm doing something.
When I use the word diet, I use it loosely, and I use the diet in terms of, just what you normally eat, So
Yeah.
Do you know what,
Yeah.
Do you know what's been like the biggest shift in my brain? Because food has been a mind for me my whole entire
me and
life.
food are best friends.
Yeah. I think we as Americans have a very unhealthy relationship with food in general across the board.
So saying that, you want to hear a funny story? Talking about Americans' nutrition. So when we went to Slovakia, with the army, we went and trained with their army because they're world's experts on decontamination. Well, we had like an 18-hour flight, and we got to the airport, and we ate our lunch there, and it was like a 2-hour drive to the base that we were going to. And when we got there, they had our dinner ready, and we were like, we're not hungry. We just ate. They were like, just eat it. Don't disrespect them. We're like, okay. Well, we walk in there, and they had so much food, and so we ate that, and we're miserable. And then 2 hours later, they had dinner, and it's so much food. And I was like, I'm gonna get sick if I eat anymore. And our command was like, just eat it. We don't want to offend these people. Well, afterwards, they were like, they don't have to eat it. We just were catering to the American stereotype. So, yeah. So basically, we're all fat. I'll tell you,
Americans are a bunch of fatties.
I was pretty
Everybody
much
else.
I was pretty much the fattest guy in Slovakia. I mean, they're all like tip top. They walk everywhere they go to, and no. One thing that I was going to ask you is, so on your off seasons, what is your guilty pleasure whenever it comes to food?
Peanut butter.
I love peanut butter. We
That's me.
talk about it all the time.
I make my peanut butter sandwiches, and I will use one slice of bread and fold it in half as one sandwich, and it's this thick.
Right.
Yep.
I am obsessed with peanut butter. I can't, I at one point in time, I couldn't have it in the house. I made Bobby, I'm like, because we're both peanut butter and jelly. Like, I could eat peanut butter and jelly for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I did that as a kid.
Real quick, what's the best peanut butter? This could be
My
the thing.
favorite is Jif All Natural Crunchy.
You had me until crunchy. I like
That's
Jif Natural
something-
Creamy.
That's something I discovered with my last competition when I was allowed to have peanut butter. I was supposed to have 1 tablespoon and I would eat probably a cup. But one tablespoon just didn't satisfy me. But I accidentally got crunchy one time and I ate it and the chewing of the peanut butter satisfied me. And then that's when and I haven't had it since that competition. I haven't had it in the house since then. But I learned that was chewing the peanuts and having that actually made me feel like I was eating more than just getting a tablespoon.
Yeah, see, and I'm the same way. Like, I gotta have creamy for my sandwiches. It's just not all or nothing, it's only creamy for my sandwiches. But if there's been times where I've bought a jar of the Jif Natural crunchy peanut butter and just left it in my work truck, and when I'm on job sites, just eat it with a spoon. So I can't do that with creamy though. I have to have the crunchy if I'm just gonna eat it out of the jar.
I'm a Peter Pan fan. I love.
My sister was.
Now, you want to hear a fat kid thing whenever it comes to peanut butter? This is what I would do.
Twinkies.
So I would love.
Yeah.
I love to get the crunchy for this. This is the only time I like crunchy. I would take it and follow me for a second. I would take it and I would put it in the freezer and I'd get it like really hard. And then I would take a scoop of it and dip it into the hardening chocolate. And it was like eating a Reese's cup. And I would sit there and eat the whole jar. I was fat. I don't know if I told you that, but I was. But it was so good.
I still have that
is
inner
good.
fat kid. It'll never go away.
You know what? Me too. It just doesn't go away.
Now, do you know one thing that I've thought about? And every time I think about this, I think about you, and it's because remember you worked at was it Fifi's?
Yep.
Was that the restaurant?
Yeah.
When I was on orders, I was working at the food bank with you. They had the best burgers ever, and I missed them. Like their burgers were so good. Every time I drive by where they used to be, I'm like, I remember Kelly. She brought us there.
Me too.
That was a highlight of when we were on orders. So I
have a picture of you guys somewhere of all of you guys sitting at the table with Wissing was there, and all of you guys were there. Was I want to say Maverick. I can't even think of anybody's name right now, right on the spot. But
Maverick and Goose.
all of you guys,
we have
pretty much.
we had Major Richie. We had Wright. We had man, it's been so long.
I saw Richie at Walmart and Marshall.
Oh, yeah, 'cause he lives in Marshall.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he lives in Marshall.
Yeah, or no, maybe it was Paris. It was either Marshall or Paris Walmart, and he didn't realize who I was, and I was in a hurry, or I would have said, I couldn't remember his name either. I was like, I wanted to be like, hey, do you remember me from the food bank? I know he probably would have, but I was shocked to see him.
See, I really liked him. It was an odd dynamic because he's a major, or he was a major. I don't know if he still is, and I was a sergeant E5. And so he was my OIC, and I was the NCOIC when we were working there at the food bank. Which we don't usually work that close with field grade officers, but he was super cool. He was super cool, really laid back. We got along pretty well.
Chase Magerlin, that's his name.
Oh yeah, Chase.
Not Maverick, but Magerlin. Chase Magerlin.
Close enough.
Then the one that wrecked his car. He wrecked his car one day. What was his name? I'm friends with him on Facebook, but I can't think of his name.
Was it Wright?
No.
Or was it Rogers? Was it Rogers?
Rogers. Right,
yeah,
he's
I
a
really
farmer,
liked
right?
Rogers. Yeah, he was building the tiny house back then.
Yeah, he was a good kid. Wright was something else.
Yeah, we'll leave it like that. We'll leave it at that.
He was like the class clown.
Oh, he was so frustrating. I was so frustrated with him. Out of everybody, he was my I liked him. He was my biggest frustration.
So back on the fitness thing, not trying to.
Oh, real quick.
Not really.
We were talking about peanut butter. What's the best peanut butter? Put it in the comments.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Hash it out. If anybody just says natural peanut butter, you suck. Because like the sugar for the sugar free that separates and remix it, and it's just the only ingredients is peanuts. You're weird.
My mom made homemade peanut butter once, and it was terrible. It was terrible.
So you said you were talking because you're the same as me in this realm. You have just a natural sweet tooth.
Yes.
And I crave chocolate, peanut butter, all that all the time, and the cut that I'm on now doesn't allow that. So how do you handle those sweet tooths when they pop up? What do you do?
It used to be.
Drink water, suck it up. No.
Yeah. No, it used to be I had sugar-free flavorings that I put in my coffee. And I would make a cup of decaf coffee and put that in there. Now I've given up. I want to say I've given up coffee. I did, but I went last week. I had a cup every single day last week, with nothing in it. I drink it black, but now I'm
That's the
back
best
on my
way to
no
drink it.
coffee kicks. So that's out.
Oh, I wouldn't
Now I
survive.
try to do fruit, and sometimes when I'm since I haven't been in a cut again, I don't know how I'm going to handle it, but leading up to, once in a while I just cave in to my craving. I'll just cave in. I know you're not supposed to, but my coach says, so if you don't once in a while give in to your craving, you're going to open the refrigerator and you're just going to keep trying to fill that void.
Yeah.
So if it gets really bad, the craving gets really bad, then I'll just go. My thing is, I think about cake. I like cupcakes, cake and cupcakes. I love them. And so icing, and I'm talking when I have sugar, it's like, I want sugar. So, I will kind of give in. I won't eat the whole thing. I'll just go get whatever it is that I want, and I'll take a couple bites, and I'll make sure I'm standing by a trash can, and I throw the rest of it away. And then I'm like,
so
that's
on
it.
that,
That's all
I
I
actually
get.
found a recipe the other day. I haven't tried it, so I don't know if
Just
it's
cut
any
her
good.
off.
No, it
Okay.
did I cut you off? Because I thought you
No,
were done.
I mean, I was finishing, so.
Okay. Well, I apologize.
He
if I
does it
did.
sometimes.
I have like,
He gets excited.
yeah, I got a little bit of the tism. Sometimes things pop in my head. I'm like, oh, I got to talk about it now or I'll forget. So, because my attention span's that of a goldfish. So, I forgot for a second what I was going to say. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I found this recipe. I'll have to share it with you. They're like keto cupcakes. They're not actually keto, but they're like 0 carb cupcakes that you're supposed to be able to make from home, and their taste supposedly as good as the real thing. It's the
They
cupcakes, including the icing, and so I'll have to try it. And if it's worth it, I'll have to share the recipe with you.
Yeah, let me know.
I have found that most things that is keto that they say taste exactly the same does not taste exactly the same.
I have learned through experience that if it's got the word keto on it, it tastes like a bag of assholes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've gotten pretty good. Like, I don't do keto, but I do like, I don't know what, like
Low carb.
between keto and carnivore. Like, I'm somewhere in there. Some days, and then other days I don't give.
Conscious.
Yeah, I'm conscious of it, but I've gotten pretty good at making some good that is on the lower carb stuff. But
You have to be creative when you're limited, or you have
Yeah.
Definitely.
like-
Because
Bobby, he likes meat, cheese, and potatoes. So like if he ever had to eat a vegetable, I would have to be really, really creative for him. Some people just he's a texture person, and that's why. It's not that he doesn't like it. It's just he's about texture. So you have to get really creative, or you eat the same thing over and over, which is what I do. I'm a creature of habit. I'll eat the same thing
I'm the
over and
same way.
over, just
I'm the
over and
same
over and
way.
over and over.
I eat
And
the same meals daily for months on end. Because I meal prep. I'm the same as you. I meal prep. I don't. My meals probably don't taste as good as yours because I had your Christmas food that you made, which was phenomenal, by the way. But
you know what? I was
here,
supposed
what
to give
was-
you the recipe, which I just made it up.
the eggplant lasagna or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit.
That
That
was-
shit
that
was
was,
too. It was so good.
Can't
Butternut.
talk about food.
Yeah.
Butternut squash. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was amazing. But yeah, I meal prep and I make 1 week at a time, just because I like to spend my Sundays. And I meal prep. I think up until last week, I have meal prepped the same meal for probably the last 2.5 months.
It's easy.
Yeah.
I like variety. That's my problem. But I think about meal prepping all the time. I think about it all the time. But you can
You
ask,
also think about running all the time. But
you can ask him. I'm the least organized person on the planet. I don't even know how I do half of that I do, but I'm really good at winging it.
Perseverance.
That's really what it is. I'm just a good winger. But if that's a word. But anyways,
don't say that too loud.
no, I think about meal prepping all the time. This is the first week that I've officially meal prepped. So
I'm proud of you.
but it's because I'm
Round
doing.
of applause.
It's the
Yes.
most boring meal prep in the world too. It's just
Wait, okay, so what
Chicken
is it?
chicken and broccoli. all week long.
Oh,
Like that's
what I ate
I'm
my
just-
whole
fucking
competition.
love chicken.
I'm not a huge chicken fan. Well, I take it back. On Friday I'm having steak,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I love steak.
You can ask my wife Stephanie. She'll tell you if you ask her how many times have you ever seen Dustin eat chicken, she'll say every day.
Yeah,
Every day.
I see. I'm just it. My mom overdid it growing up, and I think that's really what it was because she loves chicken too. Everything was chicken all day long, every day. And there's certain things like I can get down. I can tear up some wings. I like that. But no, I'm being very strict on just doing a 30-day cut. That's it. After the 30 days. I'm not like I'm good. I'm good with that because that's whenever I have my PT test. So. I'm good with that, but I'm just trying. I've never done a hard cut, and so I'm trying it, and I'm doing the chicken, broccoli, rice, and 1-day steak, and so we'll see how it goes. But this is my first week of meal prepping. We'll see. But I'll tell you, today I stopped. This is my. I don't know if you've noticed. I've been drinking this whole entire time. This is my weakness. I love my caffeine, but this is no sugar, so I don't do sugar. I haven't done sugar for a while.
That's good.
For the most part, except for my
I was gonna say you're full.
I lied.
He eats ho-hos or what is it?
It's a
honey buns.
I
before the
lied.
gym
I've
every
been
day.
bad. I've been bad here the past few months. Before the gym, I'll have my pre-gym honey bun.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
it
over
because
here
you know
making-
you're getting ready to cut?
No, he
it's
does. He
'cause
does
I
this
have
normally.
no self-control.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is.
It's a normal thing. I'll look at him and I'll be like, oh, you know.
See what I mean? I lie to myself. I lie to myself all the time. I was telling my dad.
Do either one of you track your macros or anything like that?
I do, yes.
I'm not
Okay.
disciplined enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I track my macros, and I have a food scale
do
that
too.
I have here that whenever I portion out everything out, I measure it on the
Weigh it.
scale.
See,
I do
see,
too.
if it's not easy, I won't do it. I found that out. Like if I have to put very much thought into it, I won't do it. Which is that's why this is like it's a big deal for me to try to do this cut like I'm doing because I'm going to attempt to track my protein and all that stuff. So we'll see how well I do, but it's not in my nature. I'm very, like I said, I've lived my whole entire life just by winging it, and so I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone and.
So
and do
this is so the planning and the prepping is probably your Achilles for all of this. It sounds like, and once you
Yes.
get
And
that nailed down, you'll be good.
Because I'm really good with routines. It's getting to the point of building a routine. Is my
And that's
problem.
one of the reasons why I eat the same thing every day is because I know the macros and I don't have to track the
Yeah, I do that too. That and grocery shopping and cooking, it's just second nature. Like I know, and you were talking about chicken. Yes, I ate that for 3 years straight. Chicken and broccoli. That was all I ate. Chicken and broccoli and some rice, spinach, grits, and egg whites. That's it. I ate that for a solid year, and then I continued to eat that after my competition. And we discovered just recently. I switched to red meat. I just went to, I'm eating red meat and deer. And that's when I lost 3 inches in my waist. I started to trim some of the excess that I carry on the backs of my legs. I started to see my tie-ins and stuff like that. So I'm on a no chicken kick, but it was easy. Throw it on the smoker, steam some broccoli, throw it in the fridge. It was done. It was so easy.
Yeah.
And deer,
see,
and actually what I'm doing now isn't any harder. I'm not eating a lot of carbs like I was. I'm doing like rice cakes and strawberries. Those are my main carbs. But
And that's kind of what
and
I'm
it's
doing
just
now. I'm doing carnivore, so I have to.
Yeah.
I just started doing it last week. I mean, I've done it before, and then I had an umbilical hernia in the gym and stopped going for a couple of weeks, and then I was stupid and fell off the diet because I wasn't working out. But now I'm doing this cut. That's what I'm doing. So I have to start tracking my macros again now because I'm starting something fresh.
And see how
Yeah.
I've done it this past year and a half, how I've been able to lose weight is like at the beginning, I figured out the things that I could eat. And now, but I figured out a lot of things that I could eat.
I eat the fuck out of some cottage cheese right now.
I can't do
It's on
cottage
carnivore
cheese.
diet, so it's good.
Cottage
My
cheese,
body doesn't
yeah.
like it anymore.
I love it.
But I had to figure out what did work for me and to just like maintain. And so that's been easy. I've mostly do like the 80-20 rule, and because on my weekends when I have my boys, I'm going ham. I'm eating what I want usually, but now this is my first weekend with my boys because I missed cut. So we'll see how disciplined I'm going to be disciplined this weekend.
You can do it.
You got this.
You can do it.
You can do it.
It's definitely a mind fuck. Food is a big mind fuck, and it's a hard thing for so many people.
And I think what you said about having your kids is a really good point. I want to add that my son is 24 and moved out of the house several years ago he was ready to be on his own. So I don't have like school functions and sporting events and all these extracurricular things to do. So I'm able to have time to do this, where I realize there are a lot of people that single parents or have multiple kids, blended families, and that doesn't always work in their schedule, and you have to keep that in mind. But I just think it's kind of fair to say that's why I have a lot of the time that I have, is because my son is grown and out of the house.
Now, because you said you've always been into fitness.
Mm-hmm.
When your son was younger, whenever he was still a kid and living in the house, how did that affect your fitness back then? What was your struggles, and how did you overcome them?
Well, actually, when he was younger, I took an aerobics class and I drug him with me. And that's actually what my mom did to my sister and I when we were little. She went to aerobics, we went with her. We just hung out wherever we were at, and we had to, we were well-behaved kids. So they didn't care if we were there, and she did her aerobics class. And so we got exposed to fitness that way. And then Isaac the same way. And then also for out of high school, I started instructing water aerobics, and I did it for years and then left it, and then decided to go back. I needed some more part-time. I needed a part-time job for some extra change, I guess you could say. And I went back to instructing water aerobics. And by doing that at the Y, I was able to work out. I didn't have to pay a gym membership. And because I worked at the Y, Isaac was able to get half off of his summer school program that they had there when he was out of school during the summer day camp, whatever it was called. So I was fortunate there for that. So that was how I was able to do all that at one time with him.
And you exposed them to good habits too.
Yes. And your children are watching you, and they do pick that up. And I hoped and prayed that at one point in time, I used to get out. Used to be called Zumba. Now it's called Pulse Fitness with Heather, which I bet your viewers have probably heard of that there in Terre Haute. I used to take him with me, and he would do it with me. And then he got older, and he was like, I'm not doing that. He just wouldn't do it. And I just kept hoping and praying that when he got older, he would be bitten by the fitness bug. And he is. So, exposing them young and getting they'll find their way to it.
And that's one thing I mentioned it. I made a video not that long ago. It was actually like I've had constant issues with my left foot. I've broken it and tore the tendons and all that stuff, and it still gives me issues. Well, I had a furnace fall on top of me, and it re-injured my foot just a few months back. And it was like 2 days afterwards, and I was just down on myself, and I was like, man, I'm not going to be able to go to the gym. I'm going to get fat again. And I'm just like kind of like spiraling in my head. And I remember I was taking the boys back to their mom that morning, and my middle boy, he's 13, he was like, I'm proud of you, Dad. Just out of nowhere, which if you remember how 13-year-olds are, usually they're assholes. But usually he's but like we're just not doing anything. Just we're driving, listening to radio, and he just turned out of nowhere, and he's like, I'm proud of you. I can see a big difference. Do you think that I could start going to the gym with you? Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
So
hell yes.
So like it they watch you even whenever you don't think they're watching you. And so
they see how you.
That definitely made me proud. Oh, it's all right. No, it definitely
I bet
made
it
me
did.
proud. But
I bet it did.
So one thing that we do at the end of every podcast is we like to ask you if you have any. So a large part of our audience is new beginners and or people getting back into it and getting reacquainted with fitness. Do you have any good words of advice, words of wisdom that you would like to share with somebody?
Yeah. Find what you enjoy. Do what you enjoy. If you don't enjoy lifting weights, don't lift weights. If you don't enjoy running, don't run. But find things you enjoy. Go hiking, try yoga, go swimming, go. Um, the possibilities are endless. Find something that you enjoy that gets you up and moving and do that. And then I think that kind of triggers the mind to want to do more. And then you become open more to doing other things. And then you can probably try to, if you hate running, then maybe start tackling that. Just you'll be a little more open-minded to want to try it, I think. And just being consistent and don't beat yourself up. Even amazing athletes have off days and get down on themselves. In fact, the last Miss Universe bodybuilding, she edited her stage photos. So I mean,
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like that's the most, you can't get any more elite than that as far as physique goes. She won the whole thing and edited her stage photos. I'm not even sure what her name is, but that just good, like online stuff, like as long as you keep an open mind and yeah, that's cool, but we live in the real world, then I think it takes a lot of the pressure off of having to attain unrealistic standards. We're just sure we want to look good in our jeans and we want to feel good, but we also want to be healthy. And for each person that looks completely different. But if you're not enjoying it, then find something that you do enjoy. Cause that's really, I mean, it's a lot of time to be spending doing something that you don't enjoy. You won't get anything out of it. And just
100%.
stay consistent. Stay consistent.
And touching on that, like where you said that a lot of people like stop looking online. Those
Yeah.
Instagram is not real life, and that's a big part why we started this podcast is because we've struggled with our weight our whole entire life, and I know a lot of men may not talk about it, but like we see those photos, we see those videos of different people with these perfect physiques online, and it's really easy to compare yourself to it. And so what we wanted to do, because we're far from where we want to be, we're still on our journey and we're still making progress, and I'm proud of how far we've came, but we wanted to start this podcast to show people the journey, like the real journey, like we're showing as much as we can, and to show the
candid side of everything.
Because it's not realistic to show a video of me at my biggest and then all of a sudden, boom, I am chiseled or whatever. We want to take people through the progress and through the process. And just focus on real life, focus on your short-term goals. And I mean, the small wins turn into big wins, we always say.
We just want to be those people that others can relate to, that look at us and think, okay, they were or they are in the shoes that I'm in now. So they feel like they can relate to us. We've touched on it before and talked about it in previous podcasts that if people that are struggling with weight don't want to look at somebody who's got a chiseled body and look like they step out of bed every day looking like $1 million. They don't want to listen to that person on how to get fit, because you can tell they've never been unfit. So on our side, we've been through that course. We've been through the fat stage, and we're in the process of bettering ourselves. So we want to be the appealing force to those kind of people.
And I've one thing that I would say is, like, especially being in the military, I've had so many people that I serve with that they've always been chiseled. They're just like, just don't be fat.
Yeah.
Just don't be fat. It's just that simple. And so, like, I think that people that do have great physiques that's chiseled, they have a lot to offer with how to get there, but having somebody to relate to that's been in the same shoes that you have, I feel like that can make a positive impact. But
I hope so.
Yes, yeah, and we really appreciate getting to share your story, and I think that it will resonate with a lot of people. And to anybody that's out there watching the podcast, if you have a fitness story, we would love to share your story. And if you're a trainer or if you're a doctor, or what have you, we would love to bring you on and share your story, share your experience. I think that it's been such a positive experience for us to be able to reach out and connect with all these different people that's been on the podcast and be able to reach out and talk to you. So please reach out to us we have the Fat Man community page on Facebook. We have the Fat Man Project page on Facebook. We have our TikTok channel. Yep. And thank you to everybody who's followed us. We appreciate all the support. We're almost to 10,000 followers. Thank you. We're just this past week. We're almost there.
47 followers away from 10,000.
Followers away. And then every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the full podcast airs on YouTube. So please feel free to check us out. And but yeah, thank you guys for being on here.
Yeah, and if you're an influencer, or if you're a trainer, or if you're somebody who wants has a story that they'd like to share, reach out to us. We'd love to have you on the podcast.
Yes, and then Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, can I say something really quick that's been bothering me this whole time? That in the beginning, when I was talking about PCOS and all that, I forgot to mention insulin resistance, which was what was causing my issue. So now that I know there's 10,000 followers, I'm sure somebody's going to probably correct me on that. I may have mentioned insulin resistance, but I don't think that I did. And that was stemming from the PCOS. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So I didn't give anybody false information.
You did mention the insulin resistance.
Oh,
I remember.
Okay, good.
Yep,
okay.
you did. But thank you again for being on the podcast. It's been a joy. It's great seeing you again.
Yeah, it's been nice to catch up with you. I haven't seen you since Christmas.
You'll have to come. You'll have to come back on here, and after you do your next competition,
I would love to
hear all about it. And I think that'd be really awesome.
Yeah. I'll be able to maybe share some photos from very beginning, which I wish I'd thought of until this time, so people can actually see that I was just like everybody else, and I still am.
Well, is it okay for us to
we could plug some of those photos in?
Yep, because we edit this afterwards.
Yeah,
right,
so I'll send them to you.
These are her photos. This is what she looked like before, and this is what she looked like after. But yeah, thank you for sharing your story. We've had such a blast. It's been great catching up with you, and yeah, it's
been a very good learning experience.
Yes,
for both of us.
You have officially made our longest podcast too.
Really? I'm pretty long-winded, so.
Oh no, we've enjoyed talking to you, and it's just been a really good episode. But so everybody out there that's watching, thank you for joining us. And I'm Mitch,
and I'm Dustin, and thanks for joining us.
This is the Fat Man Podcast.
Don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch.
That's right. You tell them, Kelly.